Joining us today on Inside South Florida are the Foam Guys. You guys are our trusted seawall advisors. Welcome back to ISF.
Thank you for having us.
Of course, we got Mark, Frank, and Ulysses back with us today, talking all things what you do, but also maybe a little bit of the purpose behind it. So here in South Florida, we're surrounded by water, and we have king tides and rising tides. Talk a little bit about the background of those and why we should be weary about this.
So in South Florida, we have almost between 300 and 400 miles of seawall throughout just Broward County alone. And in the next 10 years, by 2035, we have to have all the seawalls up to at least 4 feet above NAVD, which is North American vertical datum. It's a measurement of the height of the seawall based on the average tide height. And so it's a big problem. Seawalls here have been built many, many years ago, and they're just running out of life expectancy. So homeowners are pressed to come up with solutions to be able to preserve the integrity of their property and at a reasonable cost. A brand new seawall is extremely expensive, and a lot has to go into the process of getting it installed. So we're trying to work with homeowners to get a reasonable and fiscally responsible solution.
And you touched on that seawall life expectancy just a little bit there.
Yes.
What is the actual expectancy?
So a seawall life expectancy of the concrete itself is 50 years. So a lot of Fort Lauderdale has been built since the 30s, 40s, 50s. So we're significantly over that timeline.
So something to definitely be concerned about. But you guys at the Foam Guys have some solutions for us. Talk a little bit about the services you offer.
So with our high density foam injection, we can actually help rejuvenate the actual life of the seawall, because our foam, when it expands, it actually fills all the capillaries and gaps in the crumbling concrete and actually provides additional strength and capacity to the existing seawall systems, because the seawall itself is a full system made up of panels, like pilings, and a cap that ties it all together. So we kind of come up with a different solution to help rejuvenate that portion and increase the life expectancy.
And as people and homeowners are planning ahead, they're making sure their seawall is repaired. You touched on briefly the code requirements. What should they keep in mind when looking at the future?
So looking towards the future, 2035 is one of the next big benchmark dates. So it's 4 feet above NAVD. And that, a lot of seawalls in Broward County are currently below that standard. As they're building new seawalls, they have to build at least to that standard or to the 2050 standard, which is 5 feet above NAVD.
There you go. You heard it here first, here on ISF. Now, some of this information sounds a little scary of maybe we should jump into action. But again, the good news is the Foam Guys have you covered. And so for all of our listeners and watchers today wondering how they can get in contact with you guys, can you plug us with a website or something?
Absolutely. It's www.thefoamguys.com.
Simple as that.
Very simple.
Amazing. Well, thank you guys so much again for coming into studio, sharing your wisdom, your education, and as always, helping our homeowners here in South Florida.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.